Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, hold on to your seats because what I'm about to tell you is nothing short of shocking. The NFL universe is buzzing with rumors, and they center around a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Mike Evans, the veteran wide receiver from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, heading straight to the New York Giants. Yes, you heard that right. The Giants, who have been looking to bolster their receiving core, are reportedly in serious talks to bring Evans into their fold. And if this deal goes through, it could shake up the entire NFC East and have ripple effects across the league. But let's break down how this all makes sense, what it means for the Giants, and why it might be the move that propels them back into Super Bowl contention. First, let's talk about Mike Evans himself, a player who's been a consistent force in the league for over a decade now. 11 straight seasons of 1-0 or more receiving yards. That's not just impressive, that's historic. Evans has been a model of durability, consistency, and big play ability. Now, as he enters his 32-year-old season, time is ticking. His contract situation is a major factor here. He's got only 1 year left on his current deal, which makes him a prime trade candidate. The Buccaneers, with their eyes on the future, are likely weighing their options. They could extend him, but with a roster that's in a bit of a rebuild mode, they might prefer to cash in now rather than lose him for nothing in free agency next year. And that's where the Giants come in. Their general manager, Joe Scone, and head coach, Brian Daboll, are under considerable pressure to deliver results. The NFC East is a tough division, filled with teams that are always in the playoff hunt. The Giants, after a promising season, are primed for a real push, but they need to add that extra spark. Jackson Dart, the young quarterback, has shown flashes of brilliance, but he needs reliable weapons around him. That's why a proven veteran like Mike Evans could be exactly what they need. Not only does Evans bring a massive 6'5", 230-pound frame that's a nightmare for defenders, but he also brings leadership and experience that can elevate the entire offense. The Giants already have some promising pieces in Malik Nabers, who's shown flashes of being a future star. Jalen Hyatt, with his potential to stretch defenses, and Sterling Shepard, who's a savvy veteran, are all valuable assets. Wan'Dale Robinson, being an elite slot receiver, adds a different dimension to the attack. But what they really lack is a big-bodied, physical X-receiver who can win jump balls, make contested catches, and serve as a true red zone threat. Mike Evans fits that description to perfection. Imagine him paired with Nabers. Evans would be the thunder to Nabers' lightning, creating a dynamic duo that defenses would have a tough time handling. His presence would open up opportunities for Hyatt and Shepard, giving Dart the big targets he needs to succeed. Now, it's not just about what Evans brings on the field. There's also a personal connection that adds an interesting layer to this story. Evans and Buccaneers backup quarterback, Jameis Winston, are close friends, having shared many moments during their days in Tampa Bay. Winston's presence in Tampa is a factor to watch, especially if he remains with the team. But more than that, the Buccaneers are stacked with young talent and future assets. They have a first-round pick in Emeka Egbuka, who's expected to be a staple in Tampa Bay's offense for years to come. So the question arises, who goes first? Mike Evans or Chris Godwin? Both are high-profile receivers, but with Evans being on his last year of his contract, the Buccaneers might prioritize moving him before he hits free agency. The scenario becomes even more intriguing when you consider the team's broader strategy. If Tampa Bay decides to extend Evans for another 2 or more years, that could signal a different approach. Maybe they want to keep their core intact. But if they let Evans walk, the Giants could swoop in and snag one of the league's most physically imposing receivers, instantly upgrading their offense. On the flip side, if Tampa Bay chooses to hold on to Evans and extend his contract, they might then look to move Chris Godwin or even draft and develop new talent like Jalen McMillan. a promising second-year player who could be a potential replacement if they decide to rebuild. The Giants, meanwhile, definitely need to make a splash. They've been building steadily, but bringing in a player like Evans could be that game-changing move that elevates their entire offense. It's about adding that missing piece, someone who can command double coverage, make tough catches, and deliver in clutch moments. With Evans, they'd be getting a player who's been there, done that, and still has plenty of gas in the tank. The Giants' offense, which already has promising pieces, would become even more potent, making them a serious contender in the NFC. Now, let's also consider how this potential move affects the division. The NFC East has been fiercely competitive in recent years, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. The addition of a player like Evans to the Giants, Arsenal, would make them a much more formidable opponent. It would give Jackson Dart a reliable target to throw to in critical moments, especially in red zone situations where Evans's size and catching ability shine. It could be the difference between a playoff appearance and an early exit, or even a division title chase that keeps the Giants in the hunt deep into the season. And what about Tampa Bay? Well, they're in a bit of a transitional phase. They've got Egbuka, who's expected to be a cornerstone for years to come, and they might be looking to rebuild around him. Moving Evans now makes sense. They can get a solid draft pick or a promising player in return and free up cap space for future moves. Plus, with Winston potentially back in Tampa, the chemistry between him and Evans could be reignited, which adds an interesting twist to the narrative. But if Winston isn't retained, the Buccaneers might decide to go full rebuild mode, and trading Evans would be part of that strategy. The entire NFL landscape is watching closely because a move like this can set off a chain reaction. The Giants could finally get that elite receiver they've been craving, the Buccaneers could kickstart a rebuild, and the NFC East might see a new power emerge. It's a fascinating situation, packed with strategic decisions, personal stories, and the kind of drama that makes NFL football so compelling. Fans are eagerly debating whether this trade will happen, what it means for their favorite teams, and how it might reshape the upcoming season. So what do you think? Is Mike Evans heading to the Giants? Would this move be enough to push them over the top and back into Super Bowl contention? Or are the Buccaneers planning something even bigger behind the scenes? The truth is, in the NFL, nothing is certain until it's finalized, but one thing is for sure, this story is far from over. The season is approaching fast, and all eyes are on how these roster moves will unfold. The NFC East just got a lot more interesting, and the Giants fans have every reason to be excited. Remember, the NFL is a league of surprises, and right now, all the signs point to a very intriguing future for the New York Giants. Whether it's Evans, the current roster, or the draft picks, everything is shaping up to be a thrilling ride. So stay tuned, keep your eyes on the news, and let's see how this story develops. This could be the beginning of something special for the Giants, a move that could define their season and maybe even their franchise history. And with that, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Evans will wear the Giants' uniform soon? How do you see this impacting their chances? Drop your comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants themselves. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep the passion alive.